All right, welcome everybody. Sorry about the mix up on the times. In fact, probably the thing I'd like to do is to get right to our schedule for well, no, first thing we should do is review and approve minutes from last meeting. Does anybody want to move to approve August 15 meeting minutes?
I'll move to approve the August 15th meeting minutes.
Very nice, April. Thank you very much. And seconded, anyone?
I'll second it.
Thanks, Barry. All in favor? Aye. All right. So welcome. Let's see. I'm not sure who's a guest and who's a member. Do we have any new members, or is anyone a new member yet? Courtney, is Courtney a new member? Hey, Courtney.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, good.
Okay. Hi, yes, I'm a new member.
Are you? Okay, I didn't know if you had been sworn in yet. So yes?
Unofficially, Vicky said it was fine. Yeah.
But
Right.
but I did talk to Vicky just recently, actually, and she just said, I think she said about calling
Okay.
her office or something. So
we're gonna go with that then. Let's see. I'm just gonna make some notes. I have to take notes here too. So, welcome also. Is Janet here? I didn't see if Janet was here.
Janet is here as an attendee.
Yes, good. Okay. Hello, Janet. And Barbara, is Barbara here?
I'm here. Hi.
Hey, Barbara, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Barbara, how do you spell your last name?
Is it not showing? O-E-L.
Oh, it is showing in tiny font. So
Okay. I'll repeat it.
O-E-L.
Yes. E-R-K-I-N-G. Olderkin.
Gotcha. All right, thanks. Do we have any other guests here? I can't see the
I think
a
that's
list
it.
of vendors. That's it? Good, thank you. All right, welcome guests. So we think that we are mostly here. I don't know if people liked the time of 3:30 on Monday as a rule. Going forward into next year, what do people think? Indicate, please, if that's no good. Mondays at 3:30. We're only going to do quarterly, right? Are we agreed to quarterly meetings?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So 3:30 on a Monday, which might be, I don't know, maybe the third Monday or something of the. That's a good question too. Would it be the first, second, or third month of each quarter?
Yeah, I really need.
Oops, I just lost you, April. What was it?
I said I really need the dates before I plan other stuff with school, because once I put other teaching things on, I can't remove them.
Okay. So should we try to nail down 4 dates for next year right now? And let's see.
I think we should meet January and April if we're doing quarterly and earlier in the month, because
Okay.
it would probably be nice to have a second meeting before Earth Week in April.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. And since we're almost at December, we're probably not going to meet again before the end of the year. So maybe like, shoot, I don't have a 2024 calendar, but
Yeah, I'm
like
gonna try to
second
pull
week
mine
or
up.
third week of January. And then it doesn't have to be always the second or third of every month, does it? Like consistently? Can it be like
No, we can do
January and
whatever
then-
works for people. So let's try to figure that out.
January 8th is the first Monday that is not a holiday.
January 8th is the first Monday that's not a holiday. Okay. We could try for that if we like.
Yeah, because
Anybody?
then the 15th is a holiday. So the
Yeah,
first
that's
15th
King Day,
are
right?
holidays.
Right, okay.
We could do January 8th and April 8th, or wait, is that April break? April
Mm,
Lang? Is that April break? Right?
I think Easter is the 21st
Yes.
of April.
all right,
Okay.
so
April
okay.
1st, we kind of want to meet before Earth Week too, so we're not up against the gun.
Yeah.
Right.
So what is
The
it,
fir-
April 1st?
The first,
Yeah, let's do that.
April
Okay.
1st, okay,
And the 30th, and January 8th at 3:30.
Mhm.
yeah, we're talking 3:30, I think, for all of these.
Yep.
Okay, how's it looking for July? We keep away from the 4th.
July is gonna be a bust. Everyone's gonna be in and out probably, but we could
Yeah.
try.
Well, we could, I mean, we don't have to do July if we don't want to, we could do, I don't know, September. I mean, July and August are both gonna be a mess, so. If we wanted to wait till September, we could do that when things are, or, I don't know. What do you think?
We could try August 5th if that works for people, because it's the next first Monday. So at least we can kind of get prepped for the school year for things going on in the schools. If it doesn't work, we can always shift it. You know, people will know as we get further on when vacations are.
Okay,
That's fine.
Fine with that.
okay, September,
August
and then
5th.
November again.
Yeah.
We could do November again. That sounds good. What do you like for November?
Wow, it's like the year's over already.
The 11th
Yeah.
is, the 11th is Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that might
maybe
not be good.
What do
Sorry,
you
I
think,
lost you.
April?
So the 4th. Yeah, so the 4th, I guess.
Seems fine to me. I think that's a day before election day, but that's fine. Okay. All right, so we're looking at January 8th, April 1st, August 5th, and November 4th. All at 3:30. Those are all Mondays. Yes, good. All right. How's everybody? I mean, we just made that quick decision, but does that work for people generally?
Yeah, good.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you. All right. April, when do you have to leave here? When do you have to hop out?
You're
I
muted.
think
Yeah,
you're going in and out on us, bud.
I had to unmute and then the lights went out because I didn't move. By like 4:30.
Okay, so what do we need to cover for you before you go? Any of these issues that we have? We got a bunch of stuff on here. Some of them you had, food waste initiatives, I think, with some of your library events, tree education. What do you want to hit? What do you want to talk about first?
So the tree education, we're good to go. We're bumping it back to more of the last week of April, the first week of May. I'm looking to see if the tree company can still be okay with that.
Okay.
Mary, if you could resend me the form so I could order the magazines and get reimbursed through the town, that would be great. There's I think there's 52 or 53 fifth grade classrooms right now. Did I get that right? I might have doubled it, so it might only be like 25 or 26 when I double the number because we're getting 2 magazines, so I apologize. So I could get reimbursed. That's what the tree thing.
Okay. There was that. Who had the TCW event? Community women.
You mean the TNAC one?
Is that what it was? TNAC and Trumbull Community Women?
Yes. So
Are-
the Trumbull community women reached out. They're doing an event at TNAC using recyclable materials to make some sort of craft. They
Okay.
asked if I would be interested. I was free. So I'm going to go there and kind of pitch hit the second half when we have more time to kind of plan it. Either we're going to be talking about reusables or things people could recycle, kind of just giving out the information that we already know and have. I'll be representing the group for that.
When is that, April?
And that's
Yeah,
in
what-
February of this year.
Oh,
I think it was February 24th.
okay.
I'm like lost in my calendar right now, like
Is that
what
for
day I'm
kids?
actually looking at.
It's kids event?
But it,
Oh,
yeah,
Sure.
it's a kids event at
Okay.
Tina. Sounded really cool. So I said, yes, I could help. Let me see what else. I need to set up a meeting yet with the food service guy who just got hired in Trumbull, who I randomly met at Hillcrest when I was in charge. And he is willing to meet with us and talk about bringing in some more sustainable initiatives, as there is a new law that is coming in and he has to buy compostable silverware now for the buildings, which is going to cost a lot of money.
Huh.
So the laws are actually on our side for that, but he's into working with us. So I just got to get a meeting on the books with him.
April, I know he's meeting with the finance committee of the Board of Ed in February. So do you think he was gonna meet with you beforehand, so at least, you know, they can? I mean, it's getting,
Yeah.
because the budget, you know, is already gonna be in, obviously, for this section, but to at least maybe kind of put a little push in there for where they can.
Yeah, I just have to find 5 minutes in my day to put out the email to him to get something set on the calendar for like an afternoon time.
Super,
That works.
great.
It's on my to do. It should happen in the next couple of days.
Yeah,
and I
I've
think-
heard good things about him. So he's very going to be good to work with, I think.
I'm sorry, I missed who
Yeah.
it is. You were breaking up a little. Is the head of food service, new head of food service?
Yes.
So what are we pushing for? I mean, there's a law, you say, for compostable flatware or whatever. Is there anything else we're looking to push?
We're not necessarily pushing anything. We're going to re-give the information we gave to Betty Cinco, which was all these grants that are out there to help the school go from whatever we currently have, which is plastic wrapped in plastic, to reusables for free. But a lot of that has to do with the equipment, which we don't have, but possibly they could figure out something, because the cost increase is going to be a lot for them. And we're going to talk a little bit about waste reduction as well, and possibly food rescue, and see if we can make some movement, but also help plant some seeds as they plan for possible future renovations throughout the school system.
And food scrapping, food scrap composting?
Yep. Yeah.
April,
So it's
maybe
all-
we
it's
can
all there.
revisit- Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Pam.
No, I'm done.
Oh, I was just gonna say, April, maybe we can revisit putting all the materials that we sent to Betty in one of the folders on the drive and share with whoever on the team wants to help you with that. You're welcome to go to the meeting by yourself, obviously, but if you wanna you know, backup support from the team, I think that would be helpful to make sure everybody's reading the same materials from the plastic-free restaurants. We put a few good things together, I think, and make sure it's still current.
Yes, that's what I need to double check on after I get my meeting date. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. I don't know if that's something Barbara or Courtney, you're interested in, you know, helping on that initiative, just throwing it out there, but.
Absolutely. Yes.
What else you got there, April?
All right,
Any, I think
so
some
we'll
of these other
create
things that were yours.
folder and work on updating that. I don't know. Whatever Mari says.
Oh,
Well, there was library recycling. Weren't Mari and April, were you both working on that?
I'm on my phone, so I don't have the agenda in.
oh, yeah. I can talk about the library stuff if you'd like. You want to jump to that?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm support, Mari.
Yeah. And Courtney, thank you so much, Courtney, for the connection. So we were able to meet with the library, as you guys saw in my email, hopefully. And the two main things we're working on, which we started, was the recycling collection there. We hit a little hiccup because we all agreed to add the 4 items that we collect, well, 3 items we collected the recycling drive, the beauty and cosmetic packaging, the oral care items, and printer ink. And then we discussed with the library, it would be a great place to collect household batteries. Well, that was my fault for not double checking with George first. I reached out to New Tech Recycling to just make sure the container I was going to have at the library was safe and wasn't a fire risk, because putting batteries in your recycling bin apparently can cause fires, like they did at
Yep.
the recycling facility in Shelton. And I got my hand slapped for putting the bin out because New Tech doesn't really want more household batteries. They're kind of a lost leader for Trumbull, even though they will still collect them at the transfer station. And George did not feel comfortable having batteries there because they're, you know, a potentially hazardous waste risk. So we immediately removed the bin, and I'm revising the poster. Right now, it's just covered up where it says batteries. But on the good side, the printer ink bin filled up almost immediately, so I already emptied that. So yeah, so we're gonna just keep it, the library felt comfortable keeping it at just the 3 items instead of adding like black plastic containers or something else, which maybe we can visit down the line, but for now, we'll just do those 3 items. And you know, whoever's interested in being on the text thread, I can put you, and if there's, you know, we get notice that something's full and I can't get there, if somebody wants to empty the bins just so they're not overflowing, and then we can consolidate everything at the monthly recycling drive. So
Yeah, I can help with that. I do the plastic at town hall when it gets full, so I can just run over there and do that as well.
okay, great.
Would they prefer us then to tell people to just throw their batteries in the garbage versus bring it to the transfer station, or they're, which, you know?
It's
But you're
kind of
sup-
gray area.
Depends
to
on the
me.
batteries. It depends on the batteries. You're not supposed to throw rechargeables into your garbage, for
No, no,
example,
not,
'cause they-
not rechargeable. I meant the regular batteries.
Alkaline or lithium. Yeah,
Alkaline disposables are on Newtek's website, say they can go in the garbage. They're safe.
yeah.
But
But
you're
they also
telling-
collect them at the transfer station. So I don't feel like I'm very clear exactly on what's safe or not safe, but us collecting them and transporting them as community residents is not advised. So
Yeah, I just know if they wanted us to prefer to
Um,
update our sheet to remove that, bring the batteries to the transfer station, since it is a lost leader, and just tell people to throw it in the
No.
garbage.
I don't think so. They will still take them from the transfer station. So until we get told otherwise, I would leave
Okay.
it. But we don't need to promote it or add satellite locations or,
Do
well,
anything.
certainly we wouldn't, we definitely want to push not to put them in the recycling bins. Because I guess it's the contact of batteries with plastic water bottles and other petroleum products that becomes flammable. That's what I read. So I don't know.
Yeah,
No.
there's another issue is those transistor batteries that have the 2 little knobs on the top.
No.
If you cross those together and there's any charge left, then that will spark.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but
Yeah, yeah.
and then the other thing, does anyone have any questions about this or no? I think. The library events, so we all have been emailing about that, but for anybody that wasn't on the emails, we have monthly dates secured with the library, and I have a printout of those. So I just wanted to review what those dates are and make sure we have a commitment. I told Liz at the library I would email her immediately after our meeting because they would like to kind of get the printed materials going. Where is the one? Okay, so I don't know. I haven't seen this in a while, but they do, this was the fall, and they do like a page for each. And so they'll do like a sustainable page, so we can talk about the upcoming events, and I'm trying to think what else we might be able to put in there. Maybe just a couple links to our town page. I'll find out what exactly she'll print in there, but so we have Monday, January 29th. I was able to, Courtney's helping me. Thank you, Courtney. We were able to secure a representative from UI to talk about the home energy savings programs. And we have a rep from the Connecticut Green Bank to talk about their, basically the financial ends of energy efficiency at the residential level. So they have like smart e-loans and solar programs. So nothing company specific. It's all you know, nonprofit type stuff. So we have those 2 speakers for January 29th. If anyone has any ideas or anything else they want to add offline, you can email me. And then Thursday, February 15th, April, you and I were going to tag team and present the recycling stuff. I'm going to check with George immediately and maybe Jose at the transfer station to see if they would like to send any representation or feedback. Maybe we can even check with JR if he wants to send any recycling facility contact or anything, but as much information on town recycling we can get out would be great, I think. And then Monday, March 18th, Pam, you said you're good to present on
Yes.
invasive to natives. So, yeah. So
Yep.
Stefan and Liz at the library seemed great with that timeline. We felt like the middle of January was great to talk about energy efficiency when everybody's heating bills are very high. And March, you're kind of just getting started thinking about spring and gardening and plants and all that, right? And then we are welcome to do the glass display case for the month of April and do a whole thing on, I thought it would be cool to do like a map on town recycling, and maybe we can print a big poster size Trumbull map and show where like the textile bins are on the map and where what's accepted at the transfer station, and maybe have a QR code for each of the recycling stuff around town. We could put, we could have the conservation corner of the display, whatever we want to do, but we can talk about that maybe at our January meeting. And then we have April 15th and May 13th reserved for our group at the library as well. So if we want to start, just loosely thinking about doing stuff with seeds and gardening and sustainable cooking or whatever else, if anyone has ideas, I'm just the coordinator of the dates at this point.
What were the dates? Could you go back to, you said April 15th and May, what was it?
13th.
13th, those are reserved.
But we don't
And
have
then-
to commit to the topics yet for those, just
Right.
January through March for the printed brochure coming up.
Okay.
Mari, for my thing on March 18th, do you need any kind of description or?
Yes, that would be great.
Okay.
Thanks. I don't know how soon. I don't think today, but maybe soon.
I have, I mean, just to recap, I did a webinar for Ask Pawtucket Land Trust a couple of years ago, and then this past May, I was asked to repeat it for the New Canaan Beautification Society, and I updated it completely and redid it. So I would be updating that particular, well, it was a webinar first, then I did it in person. It'll be an in-person presentation, of course, of how I took my yard from invasive to native plant-wise. So I have all that already written up, and it's easy to just shoot it off to you.
Great. Is there anybody you'd want to have join you for any other portion of that time, or you can fill up the whole time and it's up to you?
The way the webinar or the presentation is now is I took up about 50 minutes of it and then left 10 minutes for questions.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks for doing it.
Happy to.
Okay, do you want me to talk about just quickly recycling drive updates?
Well, April's got to jump in 2
Oh.
minutes, right? So my question, any other items for April? And one of those might be in terms of subgroups that you want to be on. I didn't even pull up my list of subgroups there on the Google Drive, but do you remember offhand what they are, Mari? The subgroups that we've got started?
I don't off the top of my head, sorry.
Well, I know there was
Hold on.
one for Pollinator Pathway because I had put it on there, but I'm not going to be officially part of the team.
You can still be on any subgroup though. Doesn't mean anything that you're not on the team officially or otherwise.
Well, what I was going to say is I'm still happy to head up the Pollinator Pathway one,
There we go.
or whatever that is.
Yeah, that's good. How about you, April, before you jump? Any thoughts on what you want to be, I think there was a, oops, hold on, I'm losing you.
Breaking up.
Sure. Okay.
I think she said schools.
Schools, all right. Well, we can
I do the
follow up
schools.
offline too. You do the schools, well, you do a lot of things too, so, I'll try to pull that up for, in a little minute, but if you have to jump, you go right ahead. But I'll get you down for schools for now, and then if anything else, I'll probably send out in the minutes the list of the various groups when I ever find them on Google Drive. You know what it is? Yeah, I'll find it.
I mean, I could rattle off.
Anything else,
loosely
April,
what they
before you
are.
have to jump?
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say loosely, we have like recycling initiatives, we have food composting initiatives, we have the school stuff. The problem is some of those kind of overlap, like there's town food scrap collection and then there's school food scrap collection. April kind of deals the front,
Right.
the spokesperson for schools, Pollinator Pathway. Those are kind of the main ones as far as
Yeah, I found it. I pulled it up.
Yeah.
So I searched for subgroups and I got recycling, TSY, food scrap collection, Pollinator Pathway, 1,000 Trees for Trumbull, and events. So those are the 6 groups that we currently have or previously had, let's say. So What do you think, April?
I
Any of
think she
those?
left. She left.
Oh, she's jumped. All right. She said schools, which doesn't really,
Yeah.
we have TSY.
Yeah,
which
and
is kind of
she helps
kind of
with the
schools, but-
recycling and
Yeah, she helps
compost.
with everything, I know. So what we have there, since we're on it, I guess, as far as people who have signed up, which is basically, I think it's Mari, you're under recycling, and TSY, that's the Trumbull Sustainable Youth, for those who don't know what that is. And then Pam, you're signed up under food scrap collection, waste management, pollinator pathway, and 1,000 trees for Trumbull, and events. So you really
Yeah,
got very ambitious, whatever
she
day that
really-
was that you decided to sign up.
So she really stepped away. One thing I was gonna say about the 1,000 trees that is coming up, that'll be part of Mel's budget again for conservation. And it would be great now that we are kind of on board with the library to have, when we can kind of coordinate, I know it needs enough advance notice, but coordinate with, materials that will overlap with pollinator pathway, with the trees, with the planting, with April's program at the schools. So those are always, good things if we can start kind of working on those and have enough advance notice to, some of the books that are, say, highlighted, or when they do have some of the craft programs and things like that, to see if we can, not to jump 100% in, because I know, if they, as I said, they have, you guys, I know, need advance notice, but if we can kind of start eking our way in there to have some materials or something that will kind of intertwine with what we're working on.
we'll
Just putting that
certainly
out
have enough brochures for all those things that would be in the back of the room for my event, including signs and brochures for pollinator pathway.
Does anybody know what plans either this task force or the Conservation Commission has for the money that's with the pollinator pathway?
Mel would be,
There's grant money there.
yeah, I know. I think Mel would know how much was spent on the trees, and I know that they were working on signage. So I think there was some money earmarked for signage for Twin Brooks, but I don't know where that is right now.
Yeah, do you know if the seeds they were hoping to get the grant for, if that came through? The Twin Brook, that area, because I don't know if that was earmarked for that or if that ended up going through grant.
You mean the Vietnam vet? garden?
No, the other area that where Dimitri was getting all the stones out of the filtering all the soil and everything. That other area.
Yeah, I don't know. Mel probably,
Okay.
I think she told me she talked to him recently, but I don't know.
Okay. So I don't know. So we can, Janet, we can find out. I know you were obviously invested in that and were helpful with that in a great way. So we will find that out as well.
Okay, that would be great. Thanks. Denise Merrill said she'd let me know if anything was happening, and I haven't heard from her, so.
Donna Merrill.
Was anyone at the last Wednesday? I
I'm
was
thinking
able to.
politics, sorry.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, last Wednesday's at the planting where oh my gosh, the garden club, Nichols Garden Club was there and they were putting up, I don't know if Pam, if you happen to be
I
there.
drove over there and they were gone already. I was over there. They said they were starting at 9:30 and they had ordered a pollinator pathway sign that came in through the mail and with a check. So I was just going to bring it over there. And when I went over there, they were done already. They were gone. I'm like, did I miss the date? So I looked on my phone when I was like, oh, it must be finished already. But I saw that they were there. There was a picture in the paper.
I was there. Vicky was there briefly.
Missed it.
There were a lot of people planting bulbs.
Did it go well, hopefully? It looked nice. I said it didn't get over there.
Yeah, it looked productive.
Yeah, I know Mel was getting a sign for that area, so I'm not sure if that got done yet either, but they were working on that, so. Okey doke. I'll check with Mel and let you know about the funding, Janet.
Does anybody else have to jump off soon? If so,
I've got another half hour, so.
okay, yeah, me too. Let's see. Let's see what else we got here. Any other any other updates on anything pollinator pathway wise or 1,000 trees or anything like that? Do we have, or sediment and erosion control guidelines was another thing I had lumped under outdoor / nature here. I'm not sure there was much updates on anything.
I was wondering what was happening with the waterside brochure delivery. If any more, I mean, we took care, yeah, that's it. We took care of Pinewood Lake area, District 5. I don't know if we managed anywhere else.
I don't know. I think the last Conservation Commission meeting was canceled. So I don't know if any went to the Canoe Brook area or not.
Yeah, that was on my list. I was gonna take a picture and send it to Mel, and then I figured she'd be here today. I was gonna ask her what the next step was with that. I do know when, for the spring, we talked about, since they do have their meetings, you know, I know both, all the associations have their annual meetings, if we can get in there before the spring to talk about that, the clear cutting and, you know, the buffers and everything like that. So I don't know if she wants to hold and put those at that time, or as you did, get out there now and put them on mailboxes and things. I'm going to beg that. I've had the broken foot since July, so my walking's been limited, but I'm out of a boot now, so that's good.
I think it's probably not the best time to drop them now.
Well, that's what I meant. I wasn't sure if any got put at that area already, or if they're being for the
If they
spring.
haven't, I would just suggest that it happened in April, sometime around March or April.
Yeah. And then get to one of their meetings.
All right.
As far as other things under that, there's no, I mean, I have no updates on 1,000 trees for Trumbull. I thought we were doing a fall planting, but it's been postponed to spring. There will be more
Right.
trees in the spring.
Yep.
And as far as pollinator pathway goes, I'm doing a little bit more work with the actual pollinator pathway organization. And my hope is to create a Fairfield County pollinator pathway, not just like town-wide, but county-wide pollinator pathway initiative with them, where that has happened around the country, like in Licking County, Ohio. They have the really robust programs of the whole county getting involved and getting aware of what the pollinator pathway is. So that's on my wish list for next year, is to do more of that.
Well, you're signed up for it, so that's good.
Yeah.
Nobody else is, so right now, but I'm sure obviously Janet's gonna help and Mel's gonna help.
Well, Mel's going to help, and then I have Mary Hogan Fairfield that I'm working with on a license plate for the state of Connecticut for the pollinator pathway. So I think there are things that we're going to be putting in motion for next year and beyond.
Yeah, that's good. Sounds good. Let's see, moving on to the next section here, I've got the recycling drive budget and updates. Mara, you had mentioned a few things. But then question I think came up on spending money on containers, boxes, or what have you. So you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, well, first, just a quick update. As some of you probably saw, that we were able to start recollecting the black plastic containers. I had no idea. I think I probably told a few of you if you stopped by Recycling Drive last month, but the Rubbermaid program with TerraCycle always collected black plastic containers as part of their items. And I just didn't really look closely at what they accepted because we had somewhere else to bring the containers. But I did email them and confirm. And we actually even got a question on social media this morning about all black plastic containers, not just to-go ones. I don't really know what that includes. But I would say if it's black plastic and it holds something, we'll take it, like no utensils or wrapping or anything. But maybe they were referring to like the containers that like mushrooms come in or something. I don't know. But we'll take it. And if we hear otherwise from TerraCycle, we'll just have to put out reminders or sort through it like we do with every other item that we collect. We get items that aren't part of the collection and we have to sort through it day of. But yeah, so that's that. We purchased the box for the pen and markers, so it's only partway full as of now, like maybe a quarter of the way full, but we have 2 boxes at somebody's house from previous month collections. We have to put in this one box before we mail it back. So hopefully it lasts a while. I forgot what it was, $200 or so I submitted for reimbursement. Yeah, I just think it would be nice to know our budget, because like for beauty care products, we were able to mail them back for a while for free. Now we have to drop them off at a store, and there's one store in Westport that accepts the items. But if they discontinue, then like that's a whole nother category of items that we can't collect. So instead of there being this like panic, we have to announce to the community we can't collect it. Like if we had a budget, let's say $1,500, $2,000 for miscellaneous recycling things, we could use it annually and to our best judgment. We could send back chip bags. I have 2 big, huge shopping bags of chip bags because the collection bit box at Subaru and REI are no longer there. So it's like we're changing the messaging to the community is confusing. If we can, as we need to purchase things, it would be nice to know. Mary, you said something about a $3,000.
Yeah, we have about 3,000 in from the Bay State and the printer cartridges and a couple for pollinator and things like that. So that's
what is that supposed to be used for? I mean, that's not the NIP funds, which has to go for, but is that something, I mean, honestly, I could probably safely operate in like a $500 budget, let's say, just to fill in. But it would just be nice to know, yeah, okay, we don't have to
Yeah, we don't, I mean,
collection.
that's our, that, you know, that instead of going back when we put the Bay State in, instead of going to the PTAs or the schools, that came directly to us. So that's in a, like a non-lapsing fund. So that will stay there and it'll just keep rolling year after year as opposed to going to the bottom line. So whatever we decide we want to use that for, if we want to, you know, obviously we're not going to have money for the Big Belly, something like that. We're not, you know, we don't make that kind of money, but for things like this, you know, when Pam did the for the pollinator, for the, you know, the table covering and things like that. So, I mean, we're certainly able to use that. If you would like to try to put something into the budget, we could certainly try that. It wouldn't be a lot, but we'd have to be able to say what exactly it was being used for and what if at this point you think we have enough to bring us for the year, then I'd wait. If not, you know, we might as well. But we need to kind of say that soon because the budget is going to be coming out, you know, shortly.
But isn't it already it's already money there? Like, why does it,
No, we don't have a dedicated line item. That's what I was saying. If you wanted a line item, like conservation is in there, every other
Okay.
town department. So at this point, since we have the money from Bay State, it didn't seem like we needed to have that, you know, that dedicated line, and we haven't really been using much to date, you know, barely anything. So we could certainly continue as we're going. Bay State did up their amount. So they were doing, what was it, 100, like they're 120 now a ton. So we're, you know, so we're definitely making more with them. And then Helpsy is 60. So that's why I kind of usually steer to Bay State. But, you know, so we do have those funds, so we can continue to use those. And then if we need to next year, try to get in, if you want this year, I mean, I don't, you know, the NIP money came in again around 6,000-ish. So that's pretty consistent, but that's really a George, how he, you know, would like to use that. There hasn't been a determination yet, but I'm hoping we can, you know, chat with him and figure out what would kind of be beneficial.
so the
So did we-
$3,000 that's there already raised, we can
Yeah.
request funds from there. It's not
Right.
being
That's-
allotted anywhere else. I
Right.
can't foresee on the recycling initiatives without starting some lavish new program such as food scrap collection or something else. I mean, I think we can operate, but right now we're really like never been told we can spend any money. It was like
Yeah,
a
but
big,
that's, yeah, no, that is our funds. Those are our funds that are coming from that. So that was
okay.
kind of the known factor. The NIPS is, although it's in our account, in that same account, those are really for litter control, which, you know, is really determined by George, Rena, Vicky, you know, however that's going to work. But for us, those funds from Bay State, they, you know, they are dedicated. We should vote on them, of course, but pretty much we've been doing just the small amounts to allocate for the things that we've needed to date.
Right.
And
Okay.
how long did it take to get that $3,000? It was about a year or so that we collected $3,000?
No,
or-
it's been since, when did we start? I'm trying to think. Bay State, we started in 21, I think.
Right, and then Helpsy was more recent.
Topsy was about a year and a half.
Okay, so maybe we're making $2,000 a year roughly, maybe, something like
Yeah.
that,
No, well,
or
we
maybe a
also,
little less.
yeah,
maybe
we had some
1,500.
yeah, we had cartridges that came in as well, not a lot there. We did have some, Pam had
Cartridge.
donated some from Pollinator, things like from, selling those, but it's not a lot. It doesn't come in very quickly, but since we're not really using it for much at this point, I think it's, we're fine with what we're doing, but I would suggest we decide where we're gonna start using.
Right. It would, yeah, I mean, I think my goal is always to let's only add items that that are free, because there's plenty of items, but if something gets discontinued, just to keep the continuity, it would be nice. And if it becomes excessive,
Yeah.
then we can choose to discontinue collection, but yeah.
I mean, I'm happy just saying, go ahead and do that. I mean, it seems like we have enough money in there to fund any things like you're saying, Mari, if something gets discontinued or if we have to start paying it for some reason. We're not really spending money on much else, so I mean,
Yeah, I mean, there's some cool things. TerraCycle has these boxes. They'll take lots of cool stuff, but it's like if we put it out there that we're taking it and we're paying for it, we could, really
It'll go quickly.
yeah, we could be in over our heads, I'll say. So
right.
for now I think it's working, but it's just nice to know there's a little buffer of budget. But
It seems like the right use for the money. I mean, if we're not going to use it to recycle items, what are we using it for?
Yeah, because it's coming from recycling, so it's going back to recycling, really.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we might start making more money too from the printer. I mean, not exponentially. We make like $15 to $20 a month when we send back the printer ink, and it's not every single month, but yeah, with the library bin, we might get a lot more, but yeah, we'll see. And then I can just do a quick update on the food scrap collection. I reached out to JR at RWS just to follow up and thank him for the pumpkin drop-off event, which seemed successful. I was trying to get a total of how many pounds of pumpkins if they weighed their container, but we did have somebody come and take a lot of pumpkins to feed their chickens. So what they actually took away was not the full collection. I was kind of upset. They seemed like they took a lot of pumpkins, but whatever.
$5 a pumpkin.
What?
$5 a pumpkin.
Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, whatever. It kept it out of the garbage. That was the point. I just didn't want JR coming back for the container and there being like 2 pumpkins in there and like felt like we wasted his time. But so also I just kind of in trying to promote the pumpkin collection, I called a few of the apartment complexes prior to the event and just kind of started conversations about our team and the food scrap collection program in town, and wasn't sure if they'd already spoken to RWS about partnering for food scrap collection at their properties, and everybody was kind of like, oh, I'm interested. And so I kind of wanted to hear back from him first, because I don't know what they can offer apartments. So I wanted to get a better feel, but that could be a project we could make a little group of whoever wants to kind of reach out to communities, get information, and kind of maybe set up the meeting with RWS, whatever is necessary. But they all seem to think, or the two communities I spoke to said that the residents struggle with how to recycle properly. So that in and of itself is another little project. If we want to just kind of put that on the list, maybe we can, if somebody's interested, maybe doing like a quick presentation at some of the apartment communities, because you're reaching a lot of people, and I mentioned to Vicky, my mother-in-law at Stern Village has the poster of recycling that was made in 2013, 2014 about proper recycling. So, if there's a way we can get our flyer out to residents at Stern Village, or if there's other places, again, we talk about this. I know it's a lot of busy work for everybody, but, we can just chisel away a little bit. So, Courtney and Barbara, as new members, if you're interested in doing like a little community outreach, we can connect offline and put together a little strategy of who wants to do what. We have I think a very nice and comprehensive double-sided colored flyer. So I don't know who's going to pay to print them or do what, but we can work together and just keep spreading the word. I mean, I think that's my priority with the group. So, yeah.
Do
That's all
these,
I
do you know, Mari, if these apartment buildings have, they must have a management office
Yes.
that can maybe email all the residents. They must have a list. Maybe
Yes,
there's a
they
way to
do. So
email
yes,
that.
I talked to the management. I actually have the list in front of me. So I talked to the lady at Royce. It used to be the Avalon Gates, and they have a new management company. So she said they didn't even have the email list set up yet. This was when I was asking her to send the information on the pumpkin event. But yeah, so I will follow up with her. I did email it to her, but at 10 Trumbull, I have their email. They said they definitely need recycling information. And then I emailed Woodside at Trumbull. I haven't heard back, but I didn't speak to anyone there. It was just an email on their website. But yeah, so that's kind of just starting the process. We can make a list, whoever, like maybe make a generic email kind of thing to start out introducing what we could offer, or the recycling flyer, and go from there, something like that.
I was gonna say it's Stern also, and you probably know that, Mari, but whenever you offer to do anything at the community room
Yeah.
and say that you'll be serving snacks,
Yes.
they really tend to really want to come out. And so that might be kind of a fun thing where if we do, you know, same thing as like doing at the library, the presentation, but doing it there, bringing the forms, and you know, we can check with Paulette to see if they can pass the flyers out, you know, those the printed
Yeah.
flyers themselves, or if we can drop them, or, you know, but I think that it is true. It's it also gives them something to do, which is nice, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I think that'd be great. Even if we print them in black and white, double-sided, I think it would be just as effective, not as pretty, but
Yes,
much
serves
cheaper.
the
for
purpose
sure.
though.
Yeah. But yeah, so just things we can work on, but
Good. I also have under this heading backyard composting. Not sure what that was. Is that, Pam, is that one of your things?
Nope.
No, are you?
I think
No.
April and I have spoke about just again getting information out to the community. So how can we do that
Okay.
besides posting stuff on social media? If anyone wants to work on that, we can keep plugging forward. Maybe more of a
Okay.
spring thing. Maybe part of the Earth Week program, we can push it till then, maybe.
And then Big Belly, I have Big Belly on here. Is there any updates on what's George or anybody has investigated further?
Just, I know what, unless Mary, you've spoken to Vicky since, but I did email her, poor timing, but about 2 weeks before the election.
Yeah.
With which we gave her updated pricing on the units, and we were, we got feedback from Stratford, how pleased they are. They're renewing their contract with the Big Belly company, and they gave us, the company gave us information on having sponsors rent the space on the side of the units. Courtney and Barbara, if you're not familiar, Big Belly are solar powered. They can be compacting trash containers, and our group has hopes that perhaps the town would pilot a container to or more to collect trash at some of the public places to help reduce trash. They're pricey, but some towns like New Haven sells the side of the container advertising. So we thought that could help offset some of the cost, but we've simply been the messenger up till now, providing information. So I'm not sure that it's gonna be an agenda item moving forward, but.
Yeah, I did email Rising today. We had our meeting. I did email Vicky and Cindy and didn't hear back yet, but just to say, I mean, I'd love to see like an Amazon, because I know we haven't really hit them up for anything, where some of the other corporate sponsors already, they participate in Trumbull Day and the Arts Festival and, various things around town and PTAs and things like that. But, something like that I thought might be, something that would, if we were trying to pilot, but I did not hear back yet. Hopefully we'll hear this week. I should have emailed, last week, and I just didn't get to it, unfortunately, on my end.
That's all right. I've got next on the agenda under outreach, I've got social media and email account maintenance. And I think Pam, you raised those issues.
Right.
Uh,
So a handful of us have access to Facebook, Instagram, Sustainable Trumbull's email address, and there is a Twitter account. And since I'm not going to be officially part of the group as of 2024, I just wanted to mention that we are going to need people to help out, because I know Mari does a lot of the email work on the Gmail account, and I was doing it a bunch too. We need kind of someone to step in and make sure that they're checking that email address, going through the spam filter. I mean, I spent a lot of time blocking words and phrases in the spam filter because we get a lot of spam on that account. But sometimes there's a legitimate email in there, so we just want to make sure that we're consistent in checking that mailbox and getting back to people as they write to us. And then Facebook and Instagram, I'm assuming, I know that I think Mary, April, and Mari are all contributing to that now. I'm probably going to stop. And then I was going to mention the Twitter account, which I opened it a few years ago, and I do maintain it. But I think just given the changes at Twitter, which is now X, I might just delete it unless somebody screams. Does anybody care about the Twitter account for Sustainable Trumbull?
I know that there is a lot of negativity from the progressive human rights, human dignity, etc. groups about what's going on with X.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people have migrated off of X just in light of the Elon Musk's mishandling of what he inherited when he bought Twitter. So I'll delete that account unless somebody screams to me. We had just a handful of followers. It wasn't that big a deal, but you know, it was one way for us to get some information out.
Yeah, just along that line, Pam, if you don't mind me asking, who does check the email besides you and me?
I don't know.
If you're not, that leaves me.
I know, that's why I'm
Would you
saying.
like some?
Mind checking it, because honestly, a lot of the questions are recycling driven, and you know, I prefer to answer it if it's something you know, same with Facebook. If it's a question about recycling drive, I feel like I don't mind, but sometimes it's just weird. Like first of all, because it's a delegated account, I can't get it on my phone, on my Gmail. It's just, I'm not allowed to view it there. I don't know if that's a personal issue or if that's known. I don't know if Bill, you heard my question. Do you know? But it's not a big deal, but.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I have a delegated account for something else, and I think the mail comes into the delegated account, not the primary account. So I think that might be correct.
Yeah, it's fine. But I mean, it's just, if it's only one of us, I don't know. It might be a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it
No,
out.
no, we won't stop you from checking on it, Pam, just because you're not an official member. We're not gonna ask you to stop doing anything.
I know.
Let's face
I
it.
know. I'm trying to divvy up my time a little bit differently for next year and focus on things that I can get done. So, you know, I'm not gonna, January 1st, I'm not gonna turn off my computer. It's not like I'm gonna run away, but I'm happy to help out until you guys have someone else who wants to help you out, Mari.
You know, May, sometimes I see something, but not all the time. So again, it's probably not, I don't know if it's because I rarely use Gmail. I just use it for some of the town things, and I'm, you know, the dinosaur AOL there. So I don't know if that's it or not, or how it comes through, but I'm happy to help if I can, you know, figure out where it is at some point, but I can do that offline.
The other thing I wanted to ask about vis-a-vis outreach, and I didn't list it for the agenda, but it's in the same bucket, is I have all the brochures for Thousand Trees for Trumbull, Pollinator Pathway, Riparian Repair. I mean, I have them all in my garage, and I'm happy to hold on to them. But if you guys have a need for any of those things, I can always drop them off at a recycling drive or at your house or whatever. So for the foreseeable future, I'll hold on to them until such time as they need to be relocated, because I'm also not going to be on Conservation Commission next year. So, just, putting it out there that I have all that printed material.
I just feel like, just to be honest, without doing sustainable Connecticut certification moving forward, I feel like those types of brochures and topics maybe should be housed under conservation. Just because our team is, Vicky even told us, it's just we're trying to cover too many topics. And without you on the team, Pam, I just feel like all of the conservation related topics are not really going to have a solid leader. So, I mean, I don't know if there is someone on conservation that's kind of taking the torch for you there. That could be better to kind of promote stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that we can't as a team, support the programs, but we're not really leading them, just to be honest, right? I mean,
It's fine. And I don't know what's happening in conservation. I think Mel is also leaving at the end of the year. So she was looking for someone to volunteer as chair. And we haven't had a meeting in a while. So the next meeting is coming up, I think first week of December, but I could be wrong there.
Went from three conservation members to gonna be 0. Unless we get somebody new. Which I guess runs to the next issue of our membership and who's on the team, who's going to be on the team. Pam, if Pam leaves and Richard leaves, that leaves 2 spots open, I think. I think we're otherwise full. And Courtney's like practically on the team officially already, right? I don't know, what did we say about Jeff? He's not here, he couldn't make it, but Jeff was, had we talked to Jeff about being on the team? I don't remember where we left it.
Him at farmer's market in whatever date that was in July, when I had the farmer's market table. And he said he would definitely like to be on, but Tuesdays were bad for him. So we should keep him in the loop on agendas and upcoming meetings, just in case he wants to make it and officially join.
Yeah, we've got Barbara too, who's interested in, I don't know, Barbara, if you're interested in being on the team officially or not. Doesn't really matter. What really matters is what you do. So whatever you volunteer to do is great. But if you're interested in being on the team, then let us know. I'm not sure that we'll have to review and see how many spots are going to be open, but I think I don't know about Ralph. Haven't seen Ralph in a while. He's supposed to be a representative from ECDC. Oh, there you are, Ralph. Good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been here just listening in, but
okay, I can't see you on my tiny phone. I can't see anything, so I'm glad you're there.
Yes, I am.
So how's everything at ECDC? Anything new at all?
Nothing really that touches much on the discussion today. What I'll do is send you the minutes from the last meeting, and you can see the major initiatives that are underway. And I do the same with your minutes. So it's a communication mechanism more than anything else.
Okay, well, we'll try to connect somehow our goals with their goals, so that we actually do something together or in some way.
Well,
whatever that turns out to be.
We're due to set goals for 2024 at the December meeting. So
okay,
I'll share a draft with you, and maybe we can collaborate on some ideas that work for both groups.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So the only other thing, Mari, do you have to jump? Or did you already jump?
Mari's still here.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
I was just gonna ask, maybe Mary can follow up with Vicky to find out. We had talked about, is it revising the resolution of team composition? Because again, without doing the sustainable CT, I don't think we should be confined to the composition of the group. It's just if somebody wants to join and be helpful with stuff. I mean, we just need people to do things.
Yeah,
And maybe we can, go ahead, Mary.
I was gonna say, we've had it, we do have for 3 years now to be certified. And the makeup was basically so the different, the various departments would be involved in it to facilitate getting to that. And then we did change it as members at, sorry, my dog, members at large to have in there. But, we could certainly continue as we are and just invite whoever we want. But I would like to encourage, and again, maybe make it more general, as you're saying, it would be nice though to encourage that we still do have someone from conservation, from TNAC, from count, to have that structure still to be able to reach those various aspects. It does get harder, obviously, as we're, asking people to jump on, but yeah, so we can certainly talk about that and put it on as one of the resolutions. I just have to let the doggies in.
All right. I think is there anything, I don't think I have anything else here that we haven't touched on. Anything else anybody wants to add or questions anybody has? Yes, no? All good?
Actually,
Happy
can I say one
Thanksgiving.
thing?
Oh,
so
sorry,
just one
I
thing-
can't see raised hands or anything. My phone, I
Oh,
can't see
sorry.
anything.
Just
so.
one thing before we go, if Courtney or Barbara had anything to add about just kind of jumping on here and anything you'd be interested in, like promoting, doing, seeing, or just you'll think about it after the holidays. You'll come back with a whole bunch of no.
Yeah, anything at all?
Oh, I'm very excited to help. Thank you very much. And definitely helping Marty and with some library events, and then also the with the food scraps in the schools. In fact, I work at an elementary school, so it's kind of hard to see a lot of the trash going into the food going into the trash cans. It's like
Right.
so, and honestly, I'm happy to help wherever needed. So
Thank you.
I kind of just joined to understand what you guys do. I wasn't really sure and pretty passionate about this topic. So I wanted to see if I can help in any way. And I work in digital marketing, so any of that social stuff I could help with. And basically like the recycling information, I recycle so much, but I never know if I'm doing it right. And when I saw that black container thing, I'm like, oh my God, I've been throwing it in my box and I have no idea. I don't think a lot of people know what they're doing. So instead
That's for sure. Yeah.
They just don't even want to deal and throw it in the garbage. Meanwhile, here I am like cleaning things and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't know. So I just would like to get more involved with the education, I guess, with letting not just apartments know, but everybody in the community.
Actually, Mari, that
Sounds
reminds
good.
me about when we were talking about with George, and that was a while back, about putting the stickers on the, since it's not really the blue bin anymore, and it's the actual containers, about putting in kind of that back to what's in, what's out on those for trash versus recycle. I know Mary Hogue they had an issue because they couldn't really distribute them and we're trying to do multiple ways, but so whether it's through the school system to try to get it out that way, and that saves on mailing fees, going home through backpack, things like that, and maybe at the arts festival or Trumbull, whatever, multiple ways, but that may be one of the things we do want to look into spending our funds on, because it is true. I'm sitting here, it's like, I think the more I know, the less I know. And now I'm getting even more confused, where I'm like, oh my God, do I put that in there now or not? And I am constantly looking on the Recycle Wizard, which, maybe that'll be tomorrow's Tuesday tip, because I keep forgetting and it's Wednesday and I'm like, I forgot the Tuesday tip. But, but I agree. My kids have even said that. They're like, there's nothing that you can do that you're going to really be helpful if the companies and businesses don't get around it, don't get behind it and do the same thing. But I still feel like, we still have to do it. And people, like you said, people are passionate about it. So it's, let's see what we can do.
Well, speaking of that, Barbara, if you're in marketing, I don't know if you use like Canva or some of those, or maybe that's just for us people that don't know what we're doing, but like Mary, maybe we could do like multiple posts that every Tuesday you could just pull from and have ready to go. So it's not just haphazard and one person, like what's on the top of their mind today, like that could be part of the subgroup for marketing, like, or social media. We have a plan in place, because sometimes it's like, oh, I'll think of something, but then we're busy and whatever else. So
Yeah,
I think it would be a good team effort to do.
I had a whole list of things. I just didn't get to them. Exactly. It's the last 2 months have just been like crazy. So I had the list. So that would be, it is true. If we
Well-
have them, in a row, prioritized and ready to go, as I said, rather than Wednesday and Thursday coming around and I'm like, oh, I forgot I missed Tuesday. So, but that'd be great, Barbara.
Yeah, and I got laid off, so I have plenty of time right now besides my job. So, hand it over.
Sounds good.
All right, everybody, if we're set, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. And thank you, ladies, for coming to the meeting. Bill, thank you. Everybody, happy
All
Thanksgiving.
right,
Happy
thanks.
holidays, everybody.
Thank you.
you too. Bye.
Bye.